Well, sorry for the abrupt ending, but I'm just looking at my ceiling and seeing something a little concerning. I mean, I rent, so it's not going to be a huge problem, but that doesn't look good. Okay. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Yay! Lazy Sunday brunch day, which is a national holiday and if you live in Los Angeles. Woo! Cheers, everybody. If you hear the sound of distant chewing, that's the little guy. At work this week, I discovered a way to keep him quiet for extended periods of time, and that's to give him these treats that Sprouts has. It's basically the non-toxic, well, I don't know if it's toxic, but the non-bad for dogs version of rawhide in a little like bully stick. So he's been munching on that. But he has enough of it that I don't have to take it away yet, because once it gets to about that big, he'll try to just swallow it, and spoiler alert for him, he cannot. So that's how he's being distracted today. He's like a little baby, because he is my baby. So people who say that dog parents aren't parents. Good morning, everyone. Today I have my, not iced because I forgot to make ice last night and I don't have any, cold brew pumpkin coffee that came from my mom and dad via the lobster. So basically, as you will know from watching these videos, I have recently discovered the Dunkin' Donuts cold brew that you can make at home, which costs for, I think it's 2 packets, so you can make 2 pitchers of cold brew coffee for like $7 at some places. It kind of depends on the pricing as to where you're buying it from. But they, I guess, made a pumpkin flavor version of this cold brew. They don't sell it here in LA, and my mom found it where they live. And she sent me a picture and said, "These are 50% off. How many of them do you want?" And I said, "All of them." So I got some boxes in a care package, and I'll be getting the rest soon, hopefully. But we shall see. So yeah, this is the pumpkin Dunkin' cold brew, and no ice, because, as I said, there is none when you live alone and you are that asshole who doesn't fill the ice trays. You just don't have ice then. And my silk soy creamer, so that is what we're working with over here. Hi, how are ya? How's your mother? This is turning into just me saying things that just don't make any sense. Anyway. So thank you to everyone who watched the video from last week. I know it is not anything I've ever done, but I was editing that video together, and it was surprisingly easy, because when I edit my videos I generally use Final Cut, so I know like the keyboard shortcuts for editing things. But in addition to that, it's easy to just kind of scroll through and see, because most of the time I'm just rambling, and just take out all the sips. So it was very easy to cut that video together. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. But it made me laugh, and I don't know why. So I think after showing it to some people and getting feedback, I might try to use that in future videos somehow. I don't know. I'm thinking of switching up what I do for, I guess, the format of these videos. So stand by. I will figure that out. You guys don't have to worry about that. Anyway, what you do have to worry about is that I will still be here. And I promise I'm here. I'm still going to be here. We're doing okay. Pretty solid. I've been doing well about posting, at least. Sunday, I feel like, is working better for me, just because Saturdays are generally my... Also, I realized how many times, side note, that I pick up my drink but don't actually take a sip. And it got to the point that it was infuriating, or I would reach for it and put my hand on it while I was talking. And so it just made me more aware of what I do and not just what I'm saying, because sometimes I'll watch these back after I record them and other times I won't. But when you're forced to sit there and look through all of your hours of footage, you realize the annoying things that you do, and that is one of them. So I'm working on not doing that, so that future me, if I ever have to edit another sipping for X minutes straight. It doesn't annoy me that much to be like, oh, here comes one, and then it doesn't happen, and then I'm paranoid that I missed one, so there's that. Oh, now I don't know what I was talking about because I interrupted myself. Okay, well, anyway, I guess we're gonna completely derail here. I think I was trying to say that Saturdays are my errands day, and so I never know what time I'm gonna wake up, how I'm gonna do my day. Saturday is just like my catch-all day to do the things that I can't do during the week. And so to get the video up Saturday morning means I have to be up relatively early so that I can record this, post it, and then go do all of the other stuff. Whereas like Sunday is kind of like my lazy day, that the only thing I generally like to do on Sundays are make my lunches for the week. So possibly moving to Sunday, who knows? You know, there's not a whole lot of people relying on this, so it's okay if I switch it up and do what I feel I need to do. However, yesterday would have been a great day. I woke up at like 6:30 in the morning and felt like absolute garbage and had a horrible surprise to wake up to. And so I just went and laid on the couch and fell back asleep and just needed to take yesterday to relax. Really, the only thing I did was walk down to Walgreens to rent a movie from Redbox, and that was it, because it was all I could do. I just needed to take yesterday to myself. So I figured today, since I woke up yesterday feeling like sheep, I would just kind of talk about things that you can do to make yourself feel better when you're feeling like crap. So for me, number one, the first thing that I did, because it applies to the situation, was I took ibuprofen. I'm not here to like push pills on anyone. That's not what I'm saying. But for the circumstances, I needed medication for that sort of pain. So I guess the first thing I would say is, if you're feeling like crap, depending on the situation, maybe take some ibuprofen or Tylenol to kind of kickstart the healing or feeling better process. The second thing I would say is to get your furry things, in my case it was my little pupper, and just snuggle up on the couch and just relax. Do not do anything, just sit there. That's 90% of what I did yesterday, was lay on the couch and watch TV, because, you know, sometimes you just need to let your body rest, and especially where I was at yesterday, I just was not feeling up to anything. I was just a hot mess express, and I needed just yesterday to kind of like, you know, get my life back together, as it were. The third thing I always like to do when I'm feeling, and this can be either an emotional feeling kind of down and not as like up to things as I usually am, is I will watch some of my favorite movies. For instance, my all-time favorite movie is Forgetting Sarah Marshall, so I will watch that movie, or really any movie that I enjoy. Also, side note, yesterday I spent a good chunk of my day watching Leah Remini's Scientology documentary series. It was fantastic. I read the book that she wrote a few years ago, and yeah, it was a great series. So just, you know, find something you like watching on TV, or if you're more of a book reader, first of all, you're a nerd. Second of all, just lay in bed and do whatever can get your mind off of the fact that you're feeling like garbage for the day. And I guess another thing that usually helps is call someone or text someone you love and just talk to them for a little bit, because that helps me. And this isn't going to get into like a super deep, preachy, like, when you're feeling down, reach out for help. Like, I was just feeling like crap for other reasons, not anything like super emotional. But I had texted my best friend had texted me the night before, and so that made me feel good, because we had one of those little like friendship moments where you're like, I love you so much and I'm glad you're my friend. And so that was cool. I always love talking to my best friend. And my mom, you know, she's my number one fan and has been my support system since day one, so I enjoy talking to my mom as well, even if it's just like, hey, I saw this funny thing and thought of you. So that is always helpful when I'm feeling a little bit below average for myself, I guess. What else? Also, some people like retail therapy. I am kind of one of those people. I don't like super expensive retail therapy because I ain't got that Nordstrom kind of money right now. But for example, I bought these flowers. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I like having flowers on the table. Also, you can probably see this candle here. It doesn't fit in this little candle holder. There's about this much gap between the bottom and where the candle actually is. But I like the aesthetic of having a candle and flowers on the table. I think it adds a good ambiance to these videos. But these flowers were on clearance at Sprouts, which is, as you know, my favorite grocery store. And I just got them, and everyone at work was asking why. And I feel like I've told this sort of story before, but I just like having flowers, and I buy them for myself often because it's just a small victory or like a little bit of joy that I like having on my kitchen table, kind of like brighten up the room, I guess, or just, I don't know. I like flowers, okay guys? That's just, it is what it is. I like what I like, and it makes me happy. So that's another way that I make myself, or try at least to help myself feel better, is to just get something small and affordable that kind of just makes me happy. Also, I find that it's kind of weird, but makeup really makes me happy. So sometimes, it actually did happen yesterday too. I'll just sit down and do my makeup for no reason, and I enjoy it. It gives me the time and space to just think about that for, I almost said a few minutes, like it takes me 5 minutes to do my makeup. For at least half an hour, I don't have to think about what's going on. I can just sit there and do makeup, and I really enjoy it. But yeah, or if none of that works, I guess you could just crack open a cold one with the boys and call it a day. Not really. Don't drink to solve your problems, because that's alcoholism. So yes, those are my tips and tricks for how to feel better when you're feeling like garbage. So now that I've gone through that list, let's see, today it's still Sunday, and there's an airplane that I can hear. Thanks a lot, Burbank Airport. So yeah, this week, or last week was actually pretty solid, so that was nice. And going into this week, we are in the last 4 weeks of the show I'm working on, which is sort of bittersweet, I guess. It's been pretty challenging, so that's a thing, but we'll get through it, and it's gonna be okay. It's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. And actually, I'm very excited for this coming week. There are some very special things that are gonna be happening, so that's always nice. Hey, could you be any more vague, Cass? Absolutely not. What else is going on? Yeah, I think I'll save the special stuff for next week. I don't know. I know I had mentioned that I wanted to talk about like birthday trips in their own video. I think I might do that next week. I'm a Virgo, so I have to sit down and look at a calendar to figure out what I want to talk about for which weeks. Also, I don't know if I had mentioned, but I did end up booking the trip to Hawaii, so I'll be in Hawaii for a few days at the end of September into October, and I just need to figure my life out with what I'm going to do for these videos. So stay tuned, because things could be a change in here, but I will always be here and always be the same. And also, I know I said I always want to be honest and be myself in these videos, but on a day like yesterday, I physically could not bring myself to do this. But thank you for waiting until today. Keep your eyes and ears out for me, and I will see you guys next week with something, and we'll go from there.